Robert Watson, things I've done in the industry. Biggest artist I ever worked with, India.Arie, A&R the first 2-3 albums. A&R for Motown Universal for years, signed the Franchise Boys, Stevie Wonder, Black Coffee, just a lot of stuff. So made records for a long time. Now buy media and do on-site activations for them. So I do all the media buys for Motown, a lot of stuff for Capitol, big country, big machine records, etc. I remember just coming home, because I'm from Atlanta and I A&R'd, but I was A&R'd out of New York. So I always wanted to come home and make records. And somehow, I think it might have been on Indies. Alvin Spikes probably mixed that record here. And I met Curtis and I met Bob at the time. And for some reason, I just liked their energy, and I kept booking all my sessions here. And then one day, they just took me out. I think they had a vendor appreciation. So I was in town. They took me out to, what was that, Justin's or something, one of those two. And so we just hit it off. Curtis always puts it best. It's not a recording studio. It's a recording studio. It's a service place. So he believes service first. And so when you come here, you always get great service. Pricing is always consistent. Service is always consistent. The cookies are always hot. So, it's brand consistency. Over the years, I've had family members work here. Engineers are always knowledgeable. They always do what they say they're gonna do. Mike and all the guys, I always felt comfortable sending the artists here and knowing that my files would be protected. I always felt like they would help my artists be better, as far as maybe arranging, even though it's not their job category, they always wanted things to be done correctly. And it was always safe, and it was, and from when you're A&R for a major label, there's a huge part of safety and responsibility with the artists and the files that was always important. So, you knew your masters were safe, you knew your files were safe. You knew that if you called down here and said, don't give them a copy of the DAT, you knew the DAT wouldn't be given to the artist because you were paying for it. You knew if you said, don't let more than 5 people in the session, you knew the door closed after 5 people. So there's a lot of trust in that category. Where you go other places, people ordering 20 bags of food and ice and having a party on a recording budget that don't happen at Patchwerk. Patchwerk to me in Atlanta has become the studio that if you're in Atlanta, you have to record at. It's like a rite of passage. You see the younger artists there, a lot of other studios, when they finally get a chance in their minds to be able to record at Patchwerk. It's like, man, I'm at Patchwerk. That's like a badge, In New York for years, it was a hit factory. You were recording in New York until you were at the hit factory. So in Atlanta, you're almost not a serious artist until you can feel like you can record at Patchwerk. Patchwerk is that space. They help the artist, even when he started mastering. You can take an artist downstairs. They've never been afraid to show you what they're doing. So I've put in feet. I think we put algebra here a couple of times, and she would ask questions. They answer them, and friendly in that space. And then the other things that allow you to record or shoot videos or I think one time I had a group and I just wanted to get new energy from the city. And I just had an open day call where I just had any and every producer want to come in for 5 minutes, just play beats for this artist. And we had 180 different producers show up that day. No names, people you never heard of. They just come in here and just, and this was the Beacon. This is the easiest place to get to. So I don't have to do it in the other side of the town where someone had to drive twice as far as the other person is. Centrally located downtown, so everybody knows where we're at. They all know how to get here. So, and then the artists feel like when they come here, they got to do better. When you're in your cousin's basement, you feel like, it's like coming to Patchwork is like being in the Staples Center. It is. This is not, in the public's eye, this is not a regular studio. This is Patchwork. There's a whole bunch of studios, but there's only one Patchwork. I think what's cool about it with Patchwork is like a controlled nexus is the word you use. There's ways you do it and the ways you don't. So it's not like some studios, almost anybody can show up to. And it's hard to get work done because there's always too many people showing up. And Patchwork is kind of the place where you'll meet people. Like I met Jeezy for the first time here, just randomly coming up to do some business, and him and Blue were working in the room and stuff like that. And if you're the right person at the right time, you can meet them. But it's interesting because I've met a lot of people at Patchwork, but I've never felt like I was intruding. And that person didn't feel like they couldn't work because there was always someone meeting. You know what I mean? So I think the way they've been able to manage that balance as being a maven kind of place where people can connect, but at the same time allowing that person to feel secure that they meet people when they want to meet people, and when they don't want to meet people, they don't meet anyone. So.